Okay. Welcome back to the effect of masses, Mass Effect, shooting aliens in the face, possibly kissing some, we'll see. It's been a while since I did the last part, because I have a huge backlog of videos that I've been trying to edit and get uploaded to YouTube. So I've kind of fallen off the wagon of actually playing my Let's Plays, especially because I'm trying to get caught up with my Witcher 3 Let's Play, which I just have a huge backlog of right now. But I want to keep going with this too, because Mass Effect is awesome, and it's, you know, it's just a fun game to play. So yeah, I will say, I usually do not romance anyone in the first Mass Effect. I usually wait until 2 to start a romance, but if there is a particular romance option that you would really like me to do in Mass Effect 1, you know, I'm open to ideas. I could potentially do things a little differently if people really want me to. So just leave me some feedback, and you know, if you're interested, if there's something in particular you want me to see, or any particular decisions you want to see me make, you know, I can sure take that into account. Otherwise, I'm pretty much just playing this game the way I usually play it, more or less. So, but yeah, last I checked, I believe we just left the Citadel for the first time. And so we have our sort of mission parameters, our main mission parameters. We have to go to Pharos, go to Nevaria, and we have to also find Liara T'Soni. There's a couple of things I did not grab at the Citadel, I don't think. Honestly, I should probably go back to the Citadel and grab a few things. Because at the very least, there's a particular NPC on the Citadel that I should talk to and get a quest from her. Can I leave? Yeah, I can still leave. Let's take my alien power team.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged.
Hey, cuties.
The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
I know where this person is. We're just gonna make a quick trip to talk to them. That's not what I wanted to do. Wow. E is for interacting, right? Goodness gracious. This is what I mean by it's been a while since I did the last part.
In breaking news, Chairman Burns of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies has been kidnapped by biotic extremists. The biotics commandeered a freighter and were last seen in the Hades Gamma Cluster. No demands have yet been made.
Uh-oh. Sounds like something I should probably take care of. Yeah, that's what I mean, is like, I leave this game for a couple of weeks and I completely forget how to play it, because I play other games and then I get used to the controls on those games and I completely forget what the controls are for this game, especially because the controls for Mass Effect 1 are different than they are for 2 and 3. 2 and 3 mostly have the same controls, but 1 is a little bit different from the others, so it takes me a little while to get back into it. Where was I trying to go? Financial district? I think so. Oh, right, and there's another NPC I need to talk to as well, but I need to talk to him with Ashley in my party. Well, that was not very efficient of me. Here we go.
Got a moment, Spectre?
Well, who are you? And why do you know who I am?
Hello, Spectre. I have a business proposition for you.
How do you know me?
How did you know I'm a Spectre?
Word travels. Your name comes up in certain circles. I'm acquainted with a pair of powerful crime bosses.
Really?
They're hiding on remote worlds, and I have the coordinates. You could do the galaxy a favor.
What have they done?
What crimes did these men commit?
They're red sand dealers who make victims of their customers.
Oof.
Those who can no longer pay are sold to Batarians as slaves.
Ooh.
They're loathsome, hurting innocent people. They must be ended.
If you don't know already, red sand is like the heroin of the Mass Effect world. It's highly addictive and a really terrible drug. What's your interest in all of this?
And what do you get out of this?
We share interests in certain cooperative ventures.
Uh-huh.
But their business practices have forced me to terminate our relationship. Once they are dead, I will manage our organization in a more tasteful manner.
And their defenses?
What kind of defenses would these two have?
I haven't the faintest idea, but they're certain to be armed.
Oh, good.
Their partnership's soured, and each believes that the other intends to kill him. They will be well prepared.
Okay, fine.
If they're as bad as you say they are, they need to be dealt with.
Excellent. Here are the coordinates. When these men are dead, I will wait for you at the third set of coordinates. Goodbye, Commander. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Uh-huh. I don't like that I get renegade points for doing that. Like, I can understand getting renegade points for taking the bottom option, but the middle option, I don't see it as being necessarily renegade. Because they are criminals, and they do need to be taken care of. And I'll be able to make it up later in Paragon points, but it's just, it has always kind of bothered me that is automatically a renegade option when you choose to help her. Real quick, I need to turn something off on my computer before I continue, so I'll be right back. Okay. Now, what I need to do, I have to go back to the Normandy and get Ashley on my party. No, where's location? CSEC. CSEC. I need to get Ashley in my party because there's another NPC that I still need to talk to before I go. And I want her in my party when I do it, so...
So how about it, Garrus? Is this better than CSEC?
Yeah, Garrus, is it?
Fighting a rogue specter with countless lives at stake and no regulations to get in the way? I'd say that beats CSEC.
Such an
There
idealist.
may just be hope for you yet, Turian.
What a cutie. He's got a little smiley face on the back of his helmet. Look at that. The classic Mass Effect elevator ride. I turned the music way down, but there's probably some elevator music playing. Alright, time to go grab Ashley. Oh, I can inspect some things. Inspect the Normandy Hall. Nice. Is that it? I thought there was something else I could inspect. Here we go. Normandy thrusters. Inspect. Nice. Gonna grab... I wish there was an easier way to
Stand
switch out
by,
your party.
shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Alright.
Log.
We're gonna go... Humans are superior party.
Equalizing interior pressure
Yes,
with
yes.
exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
And we gotta go do this again. Oh, this takes forever. Come on, elevator. do like how you just sort of wander around.
In remembrance of Eden Prime, we present another profile in courage with serviceman Nirali Bhatia. A devoted wife and talented chef, Serviceman Bhatia joined the Alliance military under the Deferred Education Plan. After finishing her service, Bhatia planned to open a restaurant. Instead, she gave her life protecting the colonists of Eden Prime. For more profiles in courage, or to explore opportunities in the military, please visit the Alliance military on the extranet. Keyword, courage.
You know, I'm not sure that's a great recruiting strategy to tell people about all of the people who died and their dreams withered away because they died in the Alliance. Like, I'm not sure that's a great recruitment strategy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't feel like that's very effective at getting people to join up. I need to get to the embassies. Because speaking of serviceman Nirali Bhatia, we need to go speak to her widower.
Excuse me, Commander Shepard. Could you spare a moment of your time? Commander Shepard, my name is Samesh Bhatia. Forgive the intrusion, but I have nowhere else to turn.
It's alright. I'm happy to help.
It's no trouble. What can I do for you?
My wife was a Marine. She was in the 212 on Eden Prime.
Wait, the 212? Your wife was serviceman Nirali Bhatia. I'm Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. I served in her unit.
Chief Williams, it is a pleasure. Nirali spoke of you with great respect.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Mr. Bhatia. Nirali was a good woman. What can we do for you?
I've requested that my wife's body be returned to me for cremation, but the military has refused my request.
Why did they refuse your request? There's got to be some reason.
I don't know. All I know is that they have declared it impossible for my wife to be returned to me.
There's no reason for your wife's body to be held like this. Just wait here.
The man in charge of my case is Mr. Bosker. When I last saw him, he was in the expensive bar over there. Thank you for your time. I just want to give my wife a proper funeral, and the respect she deserves.
Of course. Let's go do this. Let's take care of this. Clerk Bosker.
My goodness, you're Commander Shepard.
I am indeed.
Your activities made for quite a briefing in the diplomatic corps. Is there something I can do to assist you?
Well, I'm here for Samesh.
Yes. A man named Samesh Bhatia is having some trouble claiming his wife's body.
Ah, Mr. Bhatia. A good man in an understandably frustrating position. I wish I could help him. Serviceman Nirali Bhatia died on Eden Prime, as Mr. Bhatia no doubt told you. Her wounds are inconsistent with any type of weapon damage we've seen before. That is why her body is being held.
You're studying her injuries to learn more about Geth weaponry.
The tests we're conducting may lead to better defenses against Geth attacks. Respectfully, Serviceman Bhatia may save more lives in death than she did in life.
See, here's the thing with this, is that I can paragon him to get him to release the body, but I could also tell him, okay, I get your point. Go back to Serviceman Mr. Bhatia and say, hey, and paragon him into, basically to convince him that they need to keep his wife's body, and that it's okay. Let's see how many bodies they have, because surely hers can't be the only one they have, right?
You gotta have a lot of bodies. Can't you release one?
Very few bodies had this new type of weapon damage, and very few were in good enough condition to study. Beyond that, Commander, we need as many bodies as we can to get a reasonable sample size.
Okay, well, thanks for the
I'll
info.
tell Mr. Bhatia about this. It might make it easier for him to understand.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Please let me know if you have any other questions.
So I think we're just gonna go ahead and paragon him. Because it really is a greater good kind of thing, and I tend to feel like Shepard is a greater good kind of person, that like I totally understand that his situation is shitty and that he wants his wife's body for a funeral, but you know, her body is still going to be useful, and it's going to really help a lot of, it can really help a lot of people and save a lot of lives. So it, you know, it makes sense that it's okay. I don't know why they didn't tell him that in the first place. Like, I don't see why they couldn't have just told him that to begin with, but that's, you know, as long as he knows and can understand, then I don't see why not.
Hello, Commander. Has any progress been made with Mr. Bosker? Will he return my wife's body?
It's not as simple as I'd hoped. The military needs your wife's body for important tests.
Tests? They're holding my wife's body for tests? My wife served the Alliance faithfully. She gave her life for humanity. And this is how they repay her.
Mr. Bhatia, your wife died defending humanity. We still need her help.
What right does the military have to hold her body? She's already given her life.
She died a hero, Mr. Bhatia. And now she has a chance to save even more lives.
It doesn't matter. She's dead.
Yes, she is, Mr. Bhatia. She died fighting for what she believed in. She sacrificed her life to keep you safe. I think she'd want to make the most of that sacrifice.
Booyah.
You're right, Miss Williams. She would not flinch from her duty. Let them run their tests. Let my wife save lives so that others are spared the loss I feel today. Goodbye. Thank you for finding me answers.
I feel so bad for this guy. Poor Samesh Bhatia. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. It sucks. I'm sorry about your wife. Okay, we are really going now. We are actually really going. We're leaving. Goodbye, Citadel. That was the last thing I wanted to do on the Citadel.
In entertainment news, Francis Kitt has announced plans to direct Hamlet with El Corps cast members.
Sounds
The production
fun.
will open dramatic theater to the El Corps with a Hamlet who uses El Corps body language and pheromones. Kitt claims that he's also excited by giving a human audience the chance to judge Hamlet by his deeds and not his emotions.
It's actually pretty deep. His deeds and not his emotions, or the deeds he doesn't do, because the whole point of Hamlet, of course, is that he's racked with indecision for basically the entire play, but I digress. It's so pretty. God, this game is so pretty. Like, this game is from like 2007, and it just looks fantastic.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
Alright, let's get out of
Logged.
here.
The commanding officer is aboard. XO Presley stands relieved.
Let's get the hell out of Dodge. Woohoo. And here we are at our galaxy map. Okay. Let's see here. I don't want to do one of our main ones yet. I mean, I guess we could go ahead and just get Liara, just because she is our final she's our final crew member to pick up, and I don't want to go through much of the game without her. I want to have her with me, like, you know, as soon as possible. It's usually like how I like to play these kinds of games. You know, I want to try to pick up all of the companions pretty quickly, so that I have as much of the game with all of my companions as I possibly can get. So we can probably we can maybe go ahead and get Liara pretty quick here. I think we might go ahead and do that. It's also much, God, it's so difficult to remember which ones I've been to and which ones I haven't. So I'll go ahead and start with Liara's dig site in the Artemis Tau cluster. And I have no idea which one she's in, because I can never remember. Is she in Sparta? Don't know. The cool thing about Mass Effect 2 is that you get a lot of really cool blurbs for all of the planets. Even planets you don't necessarily land on or explore, you'll usually get a little blurb for them, and a lot of them are really interesting if you bother to read them. So on Telmaca, I don't know if I'm saying that right, probably not, is a large hydrogen-helium gas giant with traces of chlorine and sulfur in the atmosphere. Its massive gravity well tugs many asteroids from the outer belt inwards past the orbit of Altaia and Daedalus, and eventually settle into the inner belt. Malka's orbit is congested with hundreds of captured moons. Most last only a few thousand years before being ejected, dragged down into the atmosphere, or ripped apart by tidal forces and added to the gas giant's immense rings. Attempting to navigate this chaotic environment is hazardous at best. Ships without military-grade kinetic barriers are likely to suffer catastrophic impacts. And then it gives you stats, and some of them you can survey, like this. So we found a gas deposit. Scans from orbit have detected a large concentration of hydrogen, and that's one of our collection quests. So that's cool, we got a good start on that. Alsage, what's this? Small, distant Alsage is a small terrestrial with a trace atmosphere of methane and argon. The surface is composed of water, ice, and calcium with occasional deposits of light metals. During the Alliance's pirate suppression campaign in the 2160s, the Batarian Eluam Ranpera was caught with his frigate Tuneron grounded on Alsage for drive discharge. When challenged by the cruiser Hyderabad, Ranpera refused to surrender. The Tuneron was destroyed attempting to take off. The debris is strewn across the southern hemisphere. We found a rare element. Scans from orbit have detected a small deposit of plutonium. Okay. We're off to a good start. Altaia. Altaia is an unusually large terrestrial world, which terrestrial meaning it's sort of land-based instead of like a gas giant. Basically, Earth is a terrestrial world, Mars is a terrestrial world, Jupiter is a gas giant. With a trace atmosphere of methane and ammonia, the surface is frozen and mainly composed of sandstone and other sedimentary rocks with deposits of iron and chlorides. Judging by the sedimentary composition of the crust, it appears that Altaia once possessed an atmosphere thick enough to support some form of liquid. What cataclysm stripped the atmosphere and left the planet to freeze is not currently known. So we can't survey every planet, but we can certainly survey a fair amount of them. Trumanray is a dwarf planet composed of light magnesium silicates with deposits of aluminum. Its surface is covered by wide swathes of ancient, dark basaltic lava, possibly indicating the world was created through an impact with some other body in the system. Trumanray's magnetic field is non-existent. This makes it impossible for ships to dump drive charge from orbit. That said, Trumanray's minuscule gravity allows even cruiser-sized vessels to land safely for direct grounding. One of the things about the world building of Mass Effect is this idea that your FTL drive, after a certain amount of time or a certain amount of travel, builds up heat and electrical charge, and eventually you have to discharge your drive core. Either in orbit around a gas giant, or smaller ships can land physically on a planet and do it by actually physically grounding themselves, but not all ships can do that. Larger ships have to, they cannot physically enter the atmosphere of most planets, so they have to do it from orbit. And when I get to the Codex entries, we'll learn more about that. Asteroid cluster, what's here? Oh, a collection of small siliceous asteroids loosely bound together by gravity. Prothean data disk. Ooh. While scanning the asteroid field in the Sparta system, we found signs of habitation. A recon team was sent to investigate one of the larger asteroids. The rock had a small functioning biodome, but no sign of anyone still living there. There was, however, a data console with an intact Prothean data disk inside, so that's another of our collection quests, collecting Prothean data disks. And here's Edalus.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Oh my. So Edalus is a terrestrial planet with an atmosphere of carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Edalus' surface is covered by wide deserts of silicate sand, with only a few areas of igneous rock highlands to break the abrasive, dust-choked wind. Edalus' orbit is congested with debris thrown inwards by the gravity of the gas giant Antamalka. Due to a high rate of meteor impacts, exploration is highly dangerous. But guess what? We're gonna land anyway, because there's a distress beacon. Oh yeah. Distress beacon. Who we gonna take? Gerebear? Honestly, I like Garrus and Rex together. This is a shitty combo because I myself am an engineer. Yeah, I think that's my class. So I really need to bring a biotic with me usually in most quests, which means I need to bring Erdnot or Caden with me pretty much all the time until I get Liara. So Rex, Erdnot. Why are you Erdnot Rex? Yeah. It's been a long day. It's also been very hot. We're in a major heat wave. I live in Los Angeles. It's been upwards of 90 degrees. In some places over 100 degrees. So, yeah. The distress signal is right here. So we're gonna go and grab it. Let's find out what's going on. Somebody's in trouble. We need to help. Whee! The Mako! Dead Alliance patrol, isn't it? How do I exit the Normandy? Oh, that's not what I needed to do. But I mean, I did need to repair. Okay, fine. Exit the Normandy. No, that's not what I need to do. I need to get out of Mako. There we go. Alliance Marine examine.
Alliance soldiers. Looks like they were lured here by the distress beacon.
Indeed. Can I turn that off?
Looks like these men were under Admiral Kahoku's command. He'd want to know what happened here.
Indeed. We're gonna have to go tell Admiral Kahoku about this. Oh, thanks for telling me. Like 5 million years later, how to use the Mako. Here's an anomaly we can investigate. That's the thing, you go to a planet like this, and you're usually gonna have a few things to do when you land. So you want to, you know, run around and explore thoroughly, no matter how much you might hate the Mako. I do not, for the record, hate the Mako, but I'm pretty sure my entire crew does, because I'm a terrible driver, as I'm sure you will find out. What's up here? Anomaly. What kind of anomaly? Whee! This is the part where everyone's going, Shepard, Shepard, no, stop, stop. Oh, God. Ooh, there's an artifact. I like artifacts. ID tag. You found Captain Mylan's identification tag. How it ended up here is impossible to know for sure. Interesting. Very interesting. And here's some debris that we probably don't have enough electronic skill to search, but I will check it anyway. Too low. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Well, there's probably a mineral deposit of some kind over here. Yeah, I see it. Also learn very quickly that I'm a very hardcore completionist, and I will complete everything there is to complete in this game. So we have a mineral deposit. Lithium deposit. Ooh, very nice. Let's level me up then. Screw you with your electronic skill too low. Oh, lordy. You big time. Oh, goodness gracious. What about equipment? 14, nice. Good, good, good. Oh, really? He can't do that yet? Damn. I'm out of shotgun. 140. Oh, anti-personnel rounds. Okay, okay. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, also, you can check out the journal. You can see here now we have League of One medallions and Solarian ID tags that we need to find. That's one of our collection quests. That's a different quest. Prothean data discs is a collection quest. valuable minerals is a collection quest, as you can see. This is the hostile takeover quest. That's the hostage quest. Let's see. I upped my electronics skill now. Maybe it's. I wonder if it's high enough to get into that now. My electronics skill's already pretty high. It should be high enough. It might be high enough now. Come on, game. Be nice. Be nice to me. I don't want to have to come back to this planet later just to get some dumb loot.
Securing point.
Alright, come on now. Big money, no whammies. Oh, come on, really? Oh, fine. Fine. Let's go. Okay. Alrighty, so I think we're done with this this solar system. Now, is it Macedon? Sharkgilla, Hadameg. No. I can never remember, and this game is bad at telling you which one it is. Salamis, Nausicaa, Circe, Proteus. I don't think that's right either. Is it Knossos? It must be. I'll get back to those. Phaistos, Armeni, yes, Therum. Okay, that's it. That's it. So let's do these. Arcanes. A small hydrogen-helium gas giant, Arcanes has been developed as a full-featured, if modest, stopover for ships hauling refined materials from Therum. In addition to a powerful magnetic field to dump drive charge, Arcanes has a largely automated infrastructure of helium-3 refining and deuterium mining on its many water-ice moons. Gas deposit? Good, good. Zakros. Zakros is a terrestrial world with a nitrogen-methane atmosphere containing trace amounts of hydrocarbons. Its frigid surface is mainly composed of water ice and hydrocarbon slush. Most of the surface is not solid enough to support the full weight of a landed ship. If approach is necessary, use shuttles or keep the ship's mass effect envelope up. Phaistos is a small terrestrial with a trace atmosphere of carbon dioxide and xenon. The surface is scorching hot and mainly composed of sulfur and various silicates. There is little of interest on this desolate world. I like to read all of them because sometimes you'll get really interesting little stories and Easter eggs and tidbits on different planets that don't necessarily have anything to do with the main plot, but they're just like flavor text, and like BioWare clearly put a lot of work into the planet descriptions, so like, you know, it seems like just the respectful thing to do to read them all, especially when you often will get lots of little interesting tidbits. Armeni is a terrestrial world with an unusually thin atmosphere of krypton and xenon. Its surface is composed of silica with deposits of carbonaceous materials. The initial flyby probe of Armeni detected multiple areas at the equator with oddly regular surface protrusions. Closer investigation revealed these as millions of elaborate crypts a few meters below the surface, left by a long-extinct spacefaring species called the Zeof. Many human universities wish to perform archaeological excavations. Council law holds grave sites as sacrosanct, however, and the matter has been tied up in court for a decade. See, like that. That's a really interesting little tidbit that, you know, if you're only going to the planets that, you know, that are plot related or the planets that you can land on, then you're not going to get things like that. We also found an asteroid here, some heavy metal on it, that's cool. And now we can land on Therum. So Therum is a distant but rich industrial world claimed by the Human Systems Alliance. Its plentiful heavy metals have fueled the recent manufacturing boom on Earth. Core samples rich with the fossils of simple silicon-based organisms indicate Therum was more habitable in the past than it is at present. Perhaps this explains the many Prothean ruins dotting the surface, most of which have been looted by mining corporations. Sounds like this is a good place to find Liara. Let's do it. And we will likely do that on the next episode. So yeah, just a little, Thresher Maw fun, and some flavor text, and some Mako, and next time we'll grab Liara. So yeah, if you like what you see, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Later.